The first thing you must do before moving abroad. My name is Nick, and I make videos every damn day, even when I don't want to, because I believe in discipline and I believe in showing up. In today's video, I want to talk about moving abroad, and I want to go into a little bit more detail about this. I have made other videos about moving abroad, but I just want to get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty about the specifics of the first things you need to do before you move abroad. Um, Moving abroad does require extensive preparation. You need to secure your visa. You need to have a valid passport. You need to create a strict budget. You need to notify your banks. You need to cancel your subscriptions. You need to digitize important documents and also arrange for international health insurance, stock up on essential medications, plan for pet transport, and then downsize belongings before you leave the country. So that checklist, like I was saying, the documents and the visa, you should really make sure that your visa is you have a valid visa, but also that your passport is renewed and that it doesn't expire for at least 12 months. Applying for the proper visas. A lot of people will like to move to another country and come in on a tourist visa and then transfer to a more residential visa. I would make sure you do a lot of research on that because some countries do not like that, and there's a more of a process, and they might ask you to leave the country, so you'll end up having to go somewhere else to finish the process before you come back in. So make sure you are really diligent about doing the nitty-gritty research on the requirements for moving to a country permanently or temporarily. Make sure that you're making digital and physical copies of your birth certificates, your marriage licenses, your medical records, anything that's like very important that you would need to provide proof of. Sometimes you might even want to get these documents apostlatized so that they're like for example your diploma. If you need to prove that you actually graduated from a college, some places, especially the government, requires it to be apostlatized by the institution. In terms of like the financial and the banking aspect, you do want to inform the bank that you're going to move. If it's only temporary, I would just send an email. A lot of times they do have things set up in the apps for you where you can let them know that you're out of the country. For example, I have a credit union and it does make me update that I'm out of the country every month. I have to just go into the app and let them know that I'm where I'm going to be so they don't flag any of my transactions for fraud. You might want to set up international banking, especially if you are going to stay someplace for a really long time. Check the international fees and consider if you should like set up a transfer service or if you should get a bank account in the country that you're moving to. It just really depends on your situation. In terms of health and medical, you want to get a full checkup before you go. Maybe go to the dentist. Make sure you have all of your prescription medication for at least a few months. Although I would say this as a precaution, you don't necessarily have to do this. It's just always a good idea to just check in. A lot of countries have way better medical facilities and more affordable medical services that you can take advantage of once you go to that country anyway. And even the medications are a lot more affordable. Most of my medications that I get, I can get like a month's worth of medication for $5 as opposed to, through my insurance is paying hundreds of dollars and I'm paying tens of dollars. But here I could just get a month's supply for like $5. So that's like pretty staggering difference in in the prices here, prices abroad rather. In terms of like logistics and life management, you want to look at your housing and like shipping situations, right? So you have to decide if you are going to ship, store, or sell your furniture and your belongings. So you need to start researching shipping costs. You need to have like a really honest conversation with yourself about like, do you need to keep a lot of the things that you have? Do you really want to put things in storage? Because if you're putting things in storage, then you're saying that you're going to come back to the United States, right? So like if that's the case, then you're not probably really serious about living abroad. Maybe you need to just visit abroad, not actually live abroad. So distinction is nothing wrong with like living outside of the country for a temporary amount of time, but if you actually want to relocate your entire life abroad, that's serious, and I don't think you're serious if you're keeping storage. I just don't. Um, Subscriptions are important, so you gotta cancel like your gym subscription, your phone plan, your magazine subscriptions. Although I wouldn't cancel your phone plan, honestly. I would probably keep an American number because you probably gonna keep your bank, excuse me, you're probably gonna keep your bank account and I actually think you should, even if you get a bank account in the new country. I think it's always good to have an option for an American bank, and just to have an American phone number just in case any kind of anything happens, right? Any emergencies. It's always good to keep that phone number. You can always, change phone plans. You just don't get rid of your number. Also, mail. You want to set up mail forwarding to someone you trust, because there's probably always going to be some random document that comes up, and you can either set up a service and have mail transferred there, one that like does digital scanning of your paperwork and holds it for a set amount of time, or have it forwarded to a trusted person. In terms of your digital and communication, like I was saying about the phone plans, you want to set up an eSIM or an international phone plan. You can do that before you arrive, or you could do it at the airport. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're prepared and you've done your research on what you want to do. Download any necessary apps, like for language translation, for banking, for transportation in that country. Be prepared to navigate things by yourself and don't rely on other people being able to speak English, because that's a very big assumption, and it's quite entitled, and not everyone is going to speak your language. You want to research and do some learning, of course. So, research the local customs of the country that you're going to, the cost of living, and start learning the local language. At least learn some key phrases so you can get around, you can order food. If you get lost, you can like figure out how to get back to where you need to go. And it's just respectful. If you're going to go to someone else's country and you're going to live there, you're planning on living there, you should at least know a little bit of the language, if not become conversationally fluent. Personal closures, you probably want to spend time with your family and your friends before departing. If you are planning to live abroad, you're probably not going to see them very often, maybe once a year, maybe once every few years, once every several years. So it's really important that you spend that time with family and friends before you leave. Now, to go back to like, I guess summarizing this, I would say in terms of like what not to do is don't ship things that you don't need, don't bring things that you don't need. A lot of things can be found in the country that you're in. If you are a person of color and you need certain types of skin products, hair products, I would say bring those, and maybe figure out, before you get there, sources to get those products if you are to run out. But don't bring like furniture or electrical equipment that has different voltages, big heavy things, because you can just find those things at like any department store or IKEA in the country. What you do want to pack is your important documents, essential medications, comfort items from home that are just going to be hard to find abroad, and that's pretty much it. If you want to go into the more nitty gritty of moving abroad, I do have a PDF. Guidebook and a workbook, over 100 pages of instruction, and it helps you organize moving abroad. You can get that in the description below. If you have moved abroad and you think that this is missing anything, please let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I post every damn day, even when I don't want to, because I believe in showing up, believe in discipline. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Real quick before you leave, if you enjoyed this video and you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm really building this channel for people who want honest conversations about traveling, living abroad, financial freedom, and just figuring life out outside the box. I'm not your average guy. I occupy quite a lot of identities that are not mainstream. My perspective gives a unique outlook that doesn't always get a voice in popular media, and I appreciate anyone open to hearing my voice, knowledge, and experience. So if that's your vibe, subscribe, join the community, and let's keep exploring together.